Nonprofits rely on support from board members who provide oversight, strategic guidance, and sometimes fundraising efforts to keep the organization aligned with its mission. Tracking board members in a nonprofit CRM like Argenta is essential as it helps manage relationships, organize activities, monitor tenure, and streamline communication. I'm Ryan Murphy, one of the data engineers for Argenta, and in this video, I'll show you how you can create a dedicated profile for each of your board members with contact details, role descriptions, and tenure history. Let's get into it. You can find board members in two places. Board members are constituents who are designated as board members, so you can find them in the constituent menu. From the main menu on the right side of the screen, choose Constituents, then choose Board Members. Board members are also a key part of your organization. So from the main menu, you can also choose My Organization, then choose Our Board Members. Now, I'm going to show you how you can easily add a new board member. Like every list in Argenta, you just click the Add New button above the list to add a new record. It's important to remember that all individuals in Argenta are constituents. So when you add a board member, you're designating a constituent as a board member. You'll use the constituent lookup field to find the constituent you want to designate. Once you've done that, just click the Add Board Member and Enter Details button. That adds the board member and takes you into their workspace to add all the details you want about them. The first thing you'll notice is that the board member's constituent card is loaded right into the workspace. The constituent card shows you important information like their constituent ID, their name, their email address, their mailing address, city, state, and zip code. Whether they're an individual, a household, or an organization. Board members in Argenta must be individuals. Their other affiliations, like whether they're also a member, a donor, a volunteer, etc. And finally, their phone information along with best method and time to contact them. Just a note here, if they have all three phone numbers, cell, home, and work in the system, all three will be displayed here. If they have only two, for example, only those two will be displayed. Okay, now we'll take a look at the board member specific fields. Argenta fills in both the status field and the term start date field automatically. Assuming that when you add a new board member, they're active and that their term start date is the current date, you can easily change the board member's status using the status drop-down list. You can change the term start date from the current date to the board member's actual term start date if necessary. Sometimes board members have a set end date for their term and sometimes they don't. If your board members do, go ahead and enter that here in the term end date field. Board members can be placed into categories for grouping, filtering, and reporting. Argenta comes preloaded with board member categories you can use, but you can add your own if necessary right here in the workspace by clicking the corresponding Add icon, typing your new category, and clicking the Add button. I'll select one of our preloaded categories here. Another field that's auto-populated is the Board Position field. When a new board member is added, it's set to Board Member. You can change this to whatever position the board member has on the board. For example, President or Treasurer. Okay, there's one more thing I want to mention here, and it has to do with security. Like every record in Argenta, you can see and set permissions for the record, and you can see the record audit. I'll explain both of these briefly, but you can find a comprehensive overview video of record-level security in our knowledge base. You can set any record as view only. What this means is only users with permission to modify the record can make any changes. You can also lock the record. Locking a record means only users with permission to view the record can even open it. To set these permissions, open the Record Permissions tab. This is where you can designate users as having view-only access, or set users who can open a locked record. Let's switch back to the Details tab and take a look at Record Audits. A record audit shows you two things: who originally posted the record and on what date, and who took the last action on the record and on what date. Keep in mind that last action can mean opening the record and switching tabs or modifying the record in some way. If you want to know exactly what actions a user took on the record, you would look in your activity logs in the top right menu. That's it for now. That's all there is to adding a new board member. There are many other actions you can take and more than a few data points you can track in the board member workspace. For information on board members or any module in Argenta, check out our knowledge base at argentasoftware.com/kb.